Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to God of War 2, where we have died again and have escaped Hades again. And I figured this would be a good chance to talk about the Titans and the gods. This is going to be a long one. Gaia, the Earth, came out of the darkness so long ago that nobody knows when or how. Earth was young and lonesome, for nothing lived on her yet. Above her rose Uranus, the sky, dark and blue, set all over with sparkling stars. He was magnificent to behold, and young Earth looked up at him and fell in love with him. Sky smiled down at Earth, twinkling with his countless stars, and they were joined in love. Soon young Earth became Mother Earth, the mother of all living things. All her children loved their warm and bountiful mother, and feared their mighty father, Uranus, Lord of the universe. The Titans were the first children of Mother Earth. They were the first gods, taller than the mountains she created to serve them as thrones, and both earth and sky were proud of them. There were 6 Titans, 6 glorious gods, and they had 6 sisters, the Titanesses, whom they took for their wives. When Gaia again gave birth, Uranus was not proud. Their new children were also huge, but each had only one glowing eye set in the middle of his forehead. They were the 3 Cyclopses, and they were named Lightning, Thunder, and Thunderbolt. They were not handsome gods, but tremendously strong smiths. Sparks from their heavy hammers flashed across the sky and lit up the heavens so brightly even their father's stars faded. After a while, Mother Earth bore 3 more sons. Uranus looked at them with disgust. Each of them had 50 heads and 100 strong arms. He hated to see such ugly creatures walk about on lovely Earth, so he seized them and their brothers the Cyclopses and flung them into Tartarus, the deepest, darkest pit under the earth. Mother Earth loved her children and could not forgive her husband for his cruelty to them. Out of hardest flint she fashioned a sickle and spoke to her sons the Titans. "Take this weapon, make an end to your father's cruelty, and set your brothers free." Fear took hold of the 5 of the Titans, and they trembled and refused. Only Kratos, the youngest but strongest, dared to take the sickle. He fell upon his father, Uranus. Uranus could not withstand the weapon wielded by his strongest son, and he fled, giving up his powers. Mother Earth made Pontus, the boundless seas, her second husband, and from their union sprang the gods of the watery depths. And from her rich ground grew an abundance of trees and flowers, and out of her crevices sprites, beasts, and eerily man crept forth. Kratos was now the lord of the universe. He sat on the highest mountain and ruled over heaven and earth with a firm hand. The other gods obeyed his will, and early man worshipped him. This was man's golden age. Men lived happily and in peace with the gods and each other. They did not kill, and they had no locks on their doors, for theft had not been yet invented. But Kratos did not set his monstrous brothers free, and Mother Earth was angry with him and plotted his downfall. She had to wait, for no god yet born was strong enough to oppose him. But she knew that one of his sons would be stronger than he, just as Kratos had been stronger than his father. Kratos knew it too, so every time his Titaness wife Rhea gave birth, he took the newborn god and swallowed it. With all his offspring securely inside him, he had nothing to fear. But Rhea mourned. Her 5 sisters who had married the other 5 Titans were surrounded by their Titan children, while she was all alone. When Rhea expected her 6th child, she asked Mother Earth to help her save the child from his father. That was just what Mother Earth had been waiting for. She gave her daughter whispered advice, and Rhea went away smiling. As soon as Rhea had born her child, the god Zeus, she hid him. Then she wrapped a stone in bathing clothes and gave it to her husband to swallow instead of her son. Kratos was fooled and swallowed the stone, and the little god Zeus was spirited away to a secret cave on the island of Crete. Old Kratos never heard the cries of his young son, for Mother Earth set noisy earth sprites outside the cave. They made such a clatter, beating their shields with their swords, the other sounds were drowned out. Zeus was tended by gentle nymphs and was nursed by the fairy goat Amalthea. From the horns of the goat flowed ambrosia and nectar, the food and drink of the gods. Zeus grew rapidly, and it was not long before he strode out of the cave as a great new god. To thank the nymphs for tending him so well, he gave them the horns of the goat. They were horns of plenty and could never be emptied. From the hide of the goat, he made for himself an impenetrable breastplate, the Aegis. And now he was so strong that Kratos could do nothing against him. Young Zeus chose Metis, a Titan's daughter, for his first wife. She was the goddess of prudence, and he needed her good advice. She warned him not to try alone to overthrow his child-devouring father, for Kratos had all the other Titans and their sons on his side. First, Zeus must also have strong allies. Metis went to Kronos and cunningly tricked him into eating a magic herb. He thought the herb would make him unconquerable. Instead, it made him so sick he vomited up not only the stone he had swallowed, but his 5 other children as well. They were the gods Hades and Poseidon, and the goddesses Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, all mighty gods who right away joined forces with Zeus. When Kronos saw the 6 young gods rising against him, he knew his hour had come, and he surrendered his powers and fled. Now Zeus was the lord of the universe. He did not want to rule alone. He shared his powers with his brothers and sisters, but the Titans and their sons revolted. They refused to let themselves be ruled by the new gods. Only Prometheus and his brother Epimetheus left the Titans to join Zeus, for Prometheus could look into the future, and he knew Zeus would win. Zeus freed the monstrous sons of Mother Earth from Tartarus. Gratefully, the 100-armed ones fought for him with all their strength, and the Cyclopses forged mighty weapons for him and his brothers. They made a trident for Poseidon. It was so forceful when he struck the ground with it, the earth shook, and when he struck the sea, frothing waves stood mountain high. For Hades, they made a cap of invisibility so he could strike his enemies unseen, and for Zeus they forged lightning bolts. Armed with them, he was the mightiest god of them all. Nothing could stand against them in his thunderbolts. The Titans fought a bitter battle, but at last they had to surrender, and Zeus locked them up in Tartarus. The 100-armed monsters were to stand guard at the gates to see they never escaped. Atlas, the strongest of the Titans, was sent to the end of the world to carry forever the vault of the sky on his shoulders. Angry with Zeus for sending her sons the Titans into the dark pit of Tartarus, Mother Earth now brought forth 2 terrible monsters, Typhon and his mate Echidna, and sent them after Zeus. They were so fearful that when the gods saw them, they changed themselves into animals and fled in terror. Typhon's 100 horrible heads touched the stars, venom dripping from his evil eyes, and lava and red-hot stones poured from his gaping mouths. Hissing like 100 snakes and roaring like 100 lions, he tore up whole mountains and threw them at the gods. Zeus soon regained his courage and turned, and when the other gods saw him taking a stand, they came back to help him fight the monster. A terrible battle raged, and hardly a living creature was left on Earth. But Zeus was fated to win, and as Typhon tore up huge Mount Aetna to hurl at the gods, Zeus struck it with 100 well-aimed thunderbolts, and the mountain fell back, pinning Typhon underneath. There the monster lies to this very day, belching fire, lava, and smoke through the top of the mountain. Echidna, his hideous mate, escaped destruction. She cowered in a cave, protecting Typhon's dreadful offspring, and Zeus let them live as a challenge to future heroes. Now at last Mother Earth gave up her struggle. There was no more upheavals, and the wounds of the war soon healed. The mountains stood firmly anchored, the seas had their shores, the rivers had their riverbeds, and ox-horned river gods watched over them, and each tree and each spring had its nymph. The earth again was green and fruitful, and Zeus could begin to rule in peace. The one-eyed Cyclops were not only smiths, but masons as well, and they built a towering palace for the gods on top of Mount Olympus, the highest mountain in Greece. The palace was hidden in clouds, and the goddesses of the seasons rolled them away whenever a god wanted to go down to earth. Nobody else could pass through the gates of clouds. Iris, the fleet-footed messenger of the gods, had her own path down to earth. Dressed in a gown of iridescent drops, she ran alongside the rainbow on her busy errands between Olympus and earth. In the gleaming hall of the palace, where light never failed, the Olympian gods sat on 12 golden thrones and reigned over heaven and earth. There were 12 great gods, for Zeus shared his power not only with his brothers and sisters, but with 6 of his children, and the goddess of love as well. Zeus himself sat on the highest throne, with a bucket of thunderbolts beside him. On his right sat his younger sister Hera, whom he had chosen from all his wives as his queen. Beside her sat her son Ares, god of war, and Hephaestus, god of fire, with Aphrodite, goddess of love, between them. Next was Zeus' son Hermes, the herald of the gods, and Zeus' sister Demeter, goddess of the harvest, with her daughter Persephone on her lap. On the left of Zeus sat his brother Poseidon, lord of the sea. Next to him sat the 4 children of Zeus, Athena, the twins Apollo and Artemis, and Dionysus, the youngest of the gods. Athena was the goddess of wisdom, Apollo the god of light and music, Artemis, goddess of the hunt, and Dionysus, god of wine. Hestia, the eldest sister of Zeus, was goddess of the hearth. She had no throne, but tended the sacred fire in the hall, with every hearth on earth as her altar. She was the gentlest of all Olympians. Hades, the eldest brother of Zeus, was lord of the dead. He preferred to stay in his gloomy palace in the underworld and never went to Olympus. The gods themselves could not die, for divine ichor flowed in their veins instead of blood. Most of the time they lived happily together, feasting on sweet-smelling ambrosia and nectar, but when their will clashed, there was violent quarrels. Then Zeus would reach for a thunderbolt, and the Olympians would tremble and fall in order, for Zeus alone was stronger than all the other gods together. And And that was the guy that just killed us. Well, let's go kill Zeus. Corpse of a fallen Spartan. Ooh, this one's alive.
My lord, I knew you could not be killed. I never lost faith. But our brothers are dead.
You can still hold the sword. Spartans do not surrender. Do your God commands.
And what of you, my lord?
I am going after Zeus. It seems I still have allies to Prometheus.
We have a flying Pegasus. That's interesting. Hi-ho, Silver!
Turn back to Olympus, beast! I must face Zeus! You defy the god of war!
You are no longer a god, Kratos. Zeus, Olympus, and the blade which holds all your power will forevermore be out of reach. Your only hope is to find the Sisters of Fate and travel back through time to the moment Zeus betrayed you, for only then will he truly be vulnerable.
I want to go back to Olympus.
You will need more help than I can give. My Titan brother slumbers deep inside his mountain prison. Go. It is time he was awake.
Come on, get over here, Griffin. There we go. Just take out some of these Griffins. You get back here. Ow. Stop it. Come here. I'm gonna clip your wings. Who's next? Stop it. Stop shooting me. What are you even shooting at me? That makes no sense. Ow, ow. Come here. And see ya. You're not getting away that easily. Aww. Ooh, almost missed that. Come here. Oh boy. Yep. Left. Ow. Up. Up. Ah. Lair of the Titan. Get away from me. That's a foot. That's a knee. That's a face. Huh, your breath is actually cold and minty. Those are targets. Aww. Ooh. That's gotta hurt.
You do not have enough power to lift the windows of the Great Garden. You must free the Pegasus, Kratos. It is your only passage to the Sisters of Fate.
Okay then. I see a chest, which I don't really need. Get away from me. Excuse me, could you just lift your finger? Thank you. Okay. Whee! Excuse me. Come here. My wall. Move. I said move. Get off, please. Get off, please. Excuse me. You're in my way. You gotta go. You too. You too. I'm just gonna paint this wall red. But then it fades, so it goes back to blue. Hi there. Just doing a bit of grapple climbing. Kratos would be a good mountain climber instructor. Come on, there you go. Keep going. Whee! Excuse me. You know, I could just grab him and toss him down. I don't have to smash him. But oh well. Whee! Save point. Minotaur! Ow. I don't have any of my abilities, dang it. Dang it. Ow. Oh, come on, I changed. Come here, you. As usual, say ah. Thank you. Come here, harpies. I'm okay on health. I see some experience. Come here, you. Thank you. Ow. Bonked my head on it. Whee! Okie doke. Whee! Let's see, what's down this cavern? Oh, we're going outside. Okay then. See an archer over here? Break his stand. There. That takes you guys down. Ow. Stop it. Ow. Ow. Stop it. Come here. Stupid Minotaur, leave me alone. Time for your throat checkup. Is that it? Okay then. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Something over here? Nope. Dang it. Gotta do that all over again. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Now jump up. More experience. Climb up this? No, I cannot. Whee!
God of War, you live. I no longer walk with the gods. Who has placed you in this torment?
Zeus. My only crime was helping mankind. When I took the fires of Olympus to the mortals, Zeus considered it a betrayal. As punishment, he made me mortal and condemned me to be savagely consumed every day by this cursed bird. And then, with the fall of night, I am healed. How long have I been here? How long have I suffered this curse? I truly do not know. Please, Ghost of Sparta, release me from my torment.
Okay then. This is Prometheus. Let's read about him. Minor gods and goddesses also lived on Olympus besides the 12 great ones. The most powerful were the goddesses of destiny, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos. They were the three fates, and they decided how long a mortal would live and how long the rule of the gods should last. When a mortal was born, Clotho spun the thread of life. Lachesis measured a certain length, and Atropos cut the thread at the end of life. They knew the past and future, and even Zeus had no power to sway their decisions. Their sister Nemesis saw to it that all evil and all good on earth was justly repaid, and all mortals feared her. Man's creator and his best friend was the Titan Prometheus. Zeus had given Prometheus and his brother Prometheus the task of repopulating the earth after all living creatures had perished in the early battles of the gods. He gave the two brothers great measures of gifts to bestow upon their creations, and they went down to earth and began to make men and beasts out of river clay. Wise Prometheus molded man with great care in the shape of the gods. Prometheus rapidly made all kinds of animals, and without any foresight, he lavished the good gifts upon them. When Prometheus had finished shaping man, he found that there were few of the good gifts left. Animals could run faster, see, smell, and hear better, and had much more endurance. Besides, they were kept snug in their warm coats of fur, while man shivered in the cold nights. Prometheus was sorry for mankind, and he went to Zeus and asked him if he might have some of the sacred fire for his poor creations. But Zeus said no, fire belonged to the gods alone. Prometheus could not bear to see his people suffer, and he decided to steal fire, though he knew Zeus would punish him severely. He went up to Olympus, took a glowing ember from the sacred hearth, and hid it in the hollow stalk of fennel. He carried it down to earth, gave it to mankind, and told them never to let the light from Olympus die out. No longer did man shiver in the cold of the night, and the beasts feared the light of the fire and did not dare attack them. A strange thing happened. As men lifted their eyes from the ground and watched the smoke from their fire spiraling upward, their thoughts rose with it up to the heavens. They began to wonder and think, and were no longer earthbound clods. They built temples to honor the gods, and wanting to share what they had with them, they burned the best pieces of meat on their altars. Zeus was furious when he first saw the fires flickering on earth, but he was appeased when the savory scent of roast meat reached his nostrils. All the gods loved the smell of the burnt offerings. It spiced their daily food of ambrosia and nectar. But Prometheus knew how hard men worked to make their living and thought it a pity they burned up the best parts of their food. He told them to butcher an ox and divide the meat in 2 equal heaps. And one were the chops and roasts, hidden under sinews and bone, and the other were scraps and entrails, covered with snow-white fat. Prometheus then invited Zeus to come down to earth and choose for himself which part he wanted for his burnt offerings. Zeus, of course, chose the best-looking heap, but when he discovered he had been tricked, he grew very angry. Not only had Prometheus stolen the sacred fire and given it to man, he had also taught them to cheat the gods. He resolved to punish both Prometheus and his creations. Cast in unbreakable irons, Prometheus was chained to the top of the Caucasus Mountains. Every day an eagle swooped out of the sky and ate his liver. At night his immortal liver grew anew, but every day the eagle returned and he had to suffer again. Thus was Prometheus punished. But Zeus found a more subtle way to punish the mortals. He sent to earth a beautiful but silly woman. Her name was Pandora. Let's get you free, buddy. Ooh.
I must burn in the fires of Olympus. It is the only way. Kill me, Kratos. Kill me.
I think I just made your suffering even worse. Sorry. Well, there's nothing I can really do about it now.
Fires of Olympus. It is the only way.
I gotta find a way to cut you down first. Should I go up here? I know, buddy, but I need to find a way to cut you down. Can't get over there. Guess I gotta go this way. Whee! Hello. And goodbye. Where do you think you're going? Hey, get off! Stop it! Get some experience. Wrong button. Gaia has given you the opportunity to save your progress. Thanks, Mother Earth. And with that, I'm gonna end it there. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, push that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.